Hello, my name is Chad Reichert, and I am Professor of Communication Design at the College for Creative Studies in Detroit, Michigan. Let's Stay Neighbors was a collaboration between CCS, Quicken Loans Community Fund, and the Neighbor to Neighbor program. Together, we worked to increase the number of property tax exemption applicants in Detroit. In order to achieve this goal, we needed to understand the challenges ahead. So, we took a step back. Our first phase in this 15-week process was to define the problem. We took a look at Detroit's problematic history of housing. Key moments included 1959, demolition of the Black Bottom neighborhood, where the majority of black residents were displaced. 1967, an uprising that lasted 5 days became a turning point for the city. Police brutality worsened and white flight continued, causing homes and neighborhoods to become even more vacant. Jump forward to 2008. The nationwide financial crisis hits Detroit the hardest. The city's bankruptcy played a role in the housing crisis, resulting in desolate neighborhoods. And now 2020, a lot has changed, but housing is still an issue, and neighborhoods are still empty. So let's look at the data. Detroit's poverty level is drastically higher than the national average. To combat this, Detroit offers 100% property tax exemption. 30,000 qualify, 6,000 take advantage. There are several overarching barriers that contribute to this discrepancy. They may include distrust, safety, illiteracy, language barriers, lack of awareness, shame, and accessibility. PT is a life-changing opportunity, but is a difficult process to complete. So our goal in this project was to raise awareness of the property tax exemption and create a more accessible and inclusive application process. Our next phase was ethnographic research. Who did we talk to and what did we observe? We visited the QLCF call center. We spoke with residents to remind them to reapply for PTE. We learned that some people were already aware, others appreciated a reminder, and some were unable to understand due to language barriers. Next, we had lengthy conversations with the Detroit City Council, residents, and canvassers. This was a pivotal point in our process, talking to city officials that actually manage the process, residents that actually use the application, and canvassers that actually spread the word in their neighborhoods. Their faces and stories gave us an intimate perspective to the problem and helped us fill gaps in our research. Last, we volunteered at the Black Caucus, a tax exemption workshop that helps residents navigate the PTE application process. We learned from the people who had been through the process. We realized design could make a difference in the lives of people struggling to stay in their homes. We then utilized what we learned in our research phase to create personas that would inform our design decisions. We identified 3 different families that all experienced PT in slightly different ways. For example, the elderly couple. What did their typical Sunday look like? Perhaps they go to church, buy groceries, and make dinner for their family. This helped us identify the most common points of contact. Ads raise awareness, while seeing a bulletin about PT at church builds trust with the system. Phase 4 was time to put our words into actions. Our first prototypes included language modules. We then applied that language to build-outs that included billboards and buttons communicating resiliency and pride, and tape that the canvasser can use to secure an information brochure to a resident's door when they are not there. We built an adaptable grid based on city block structures. We then played with a variable strategy that incorporated our language and structures together. These became more build-outs that ask, for example, what if a grocery bag sparks a conversation with the bus stop? Our last phase was design execution. After an in-studio session with feedback from key stakeholders to review prototypes, we further consolidated and refined our design system. We took inspiration from the grid of the city blocks to create an identifier for neighbor to neighbor. We used this modular system to not just substitute messages, but also languages. We designed flyers as a quick way to call attention to bulletin boards, telephone poles, and party store windows. We deconstructed the application. It's unorganized, hard to navigate, unintuitive, and dense. We implemented a system throughout the application that utilizes hierarchy, scale, read path, and structure to provide more consistency. The original PTE application guide was overwhelming to fill out as well, so we created a system that brings the assistance of a PTE workshop home to the residents. The outside of the fold summarizes general information, identifying each page. It includes deadlines, checklists, and the eligibility chart. The inside fold provides a specific step-by-step guide of what needs to be filled out according to each page. Instructional language such as sign, skip, check, and fill clarifies the application. We applied the guidelines of English as a second language to the text of the guide to ensure understanding amongst residents. We embedded a new set of iconography that allows for more universal understanding. The redesign of both the application and guide were met with much enthusiasm. As a result, the Detroit City Council approved and adopted both of them for the 2021 PTE cycle. Housing in Detroit is a complex and systemic problem. It's a real issue with real consequences. It's easy to dismiss if you don't have an intimate understanding of the struggles that residents go through every day. A house is not just four walls and a roof. It's a source of pride, comfort, safety, and stability. Design students don't often understand the magnitude of these types of issues because they are not usually confronted with these types of opportunities. Most students' projects are hypothetical in nature, where research is biased and outcomes are defined by self-interests. These opportunities help evolve design education because they challenge the students to have a listen-first mindset. They challenge students to look beyond themselves and understand that design can be inclusive and empathetic. This project also demonstrates that by embracing a systematic approach that is mapped out to the needs of the user, positive change can happen. We are extremely thankful for this opportunity to work with QLCF and N2N on this life-changing project. Thank you.